Mother of young teacher makes the woman in London worry it could have been them. UK galvanized over epidemic of violence against the woman following murder of a teacher. London CNN. When the woman of Kidbrooke in southeast London, Sabina Nessa, an elementary school teacher living in their community, was found murdered in their local park. Many had the same thought: it could have been me. Police said that she left her home to meet her friend in a local pub and it was just a 5-minute walk for her. We often go to this pub and it's also around 5-10 minute walk for us. It feels it might have happened to me, to you. It might happen anywhere. At least Elia Isaeva, a young mother who has been living in the area for about 2 years, told the CNN. Isaeva and her husband moved to Kidbrooke because it felt like a good place to raise the family. A quiet London suburb, less than 20 minutes by train from central London. As a prime commuter neighborhood, Kidbrooke has benefited from huge investment in recent years. Newly built apartment buildings with carefully landscaped lawns surrounds the train station. Across the tracks, many more are being built. The people gather during a vigil for Sabina Nessa in Kidbrooke in London. Isaeva and her friend and fellow mom Sueda Siftrisi said they visited the park where the 28-year-old teacher was killed last Friday at least once a week. They've always felt safe around there. We chose this area because there are lots of parks. It's a really good family area, Siftrisi said. Neighborhood is still struggling to come to terms with the murder. Throughout the week, the people have been laying flowers in the park, lighting candles, and leaving notes for Nessa's family. When a vigil was held at a square just up the road from the park on Friday evening, large crowds of people, mostly women, turned up. Many struggled to hold back their tears when Nessa's sister Jabina Yasmin Islam told them about the pain she and her family experienced. This feels like we're stuck in a bad dream and we can't get out of it, she said. We have lost our sister, my parents lost their daughter, and my girls have lost such a brilliant, loving, caring auntie. Javina Nessa pays tribute to her sister Sabina Nessa during the Brazil gender violence epidemic. Nessa's killing has sparkled a renewed outcry about Britain's epidemic of violence against women and girls. Nessa is thought to have been murdered on her short journey through the park, with her body found on Saturday afternoon close to the nearby community center. It's just an unending cycle of violence against women and it's really depressing. Jamie Kingler, one of the co-founders of the Reclaim These Streets campaign group, told CNN. The group was formed after the assault and murder of 33-year-old Sarah Everard in March. Everard went missing after leaving a friend's house in Clapham, South London on May 3rd, and her disappearance sparked an outpouring across the social media from women sharing their own experience of sexual assault and harassment. A Metropolitan Police official later pleaded guilty to murdering her. Kringler said the murder of Nessa shows nothing. has changed in the 6 months since Everard was killed in May. Violence against women is not in the top 3 priority of any police department in England or Wales. We don't even rank. Nobody is taking this seriously, she said. According to the safety app Walk Safe, there were 112 violent and sex crimes reported within a 1.5 kilometer (0.9 miles) radius of the park where Nessa was killed just in July, the most recent month for which police figures are available. Right now, the local council is giving out panic alarms and they are giving out pieces of paper saying we have to walk with somebody. How is it all on us to protect ourselves rather than society and the government and the police to keep us alive? Kringle said. At the Virgil on Friday, the Clive Effold, the local MP, said 78 women have died in violent attacks since Everard was murdered in May. Effold said a cultural change needed to take place in the UK. Those sexist jokes that just slip off the tongues around the coffee machine, that's where it starts. That's the small steps that create the environment where the people feel that they can become violent and aggressive towards the women and girls. So if we want to bring about change, we have to live that change and be that change, he says to applause from the crowd. The British government in July unveiled a new plan to tackle violence against women and girls. But campaigners have said that it doesn't go far enough. Refugee, a charity helping women who are victims of domestic violence, said the campaign did not provide adequate funding and missed out the opportunity to put the real changes in place. Manuela Colombini, who has lived in the area for about 15 years, said she felt it was her duty to attend the Virgil to express her solidarity with Nessa's family and make her voice heard. We want to feel safe. I have 2 young daughters and I don't want them to grow up and think that they cannot go out in the streets or to the park that is near here where we take our dogs, she said. It's important to be able to show that we are here and this is not acceptable, she said. Most of those gathered in Kidbrooke on Friday didn't know Nessa personally. Like Colombini, they came because they wanted to support the community, take a stand and ensure her story is not forgotten. When one of the speakers encouraged the crowd to say Nessa's name, they did, the sound of hundreds of voices echoing through the square. Sabina Nessa, Sabina Nessa, Sabina Nessa. This story has been updated to correct the month when Sarah Everard went missing. It was in March. CNN's Neda Bashir, Mick Clever, Elisa McIntosh, and Kara Fox contributed to this report.